Will Smith? On television, he played the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a tough guy from Philadelphia who was sent to live with wealthy relatives in California. In real life, he is Will Smith, a streetwise Philadelphian who has achieved stardom and wealth in Los Angeles through hard work and infectious charm. Smith has achieved enormous success in two different areas of popular entertainment. While he was still too young to legally drink, he released several platinum rap albums and received the first ever Grammy Award in the rap category. With his success in music behind him, Smith transitioned to television situation comedy and scored a hit with The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Smith is in high demand for television and film roles in the mid-1990s, despite the fact that he is still a young man by most standards. Smith's white bread appeal that very few black men possess, according to Premiere magazine contributor Veronica Chambers, who describes the engaging star as Ben Franklin with a backward baseball cap. For Smith, acting has often meant being his own eccentric self in front of a camera. He has worked hard over the years to bring realism to the character he played on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, even if it meant defying stereotypes. Smith told Essence magazine, "Look what the Fresh Prince represents. He operates on several levels, as a symbol of urban youth, a symbol of black youth, and, most notably, a symbol of black male youth." Willard Smith Jr. was born on September 25, 1968, in Winfield, Pennsylvania, a middle-class West Philadelphia suburb. He was the oldest of 4 children born to a refrigeration engineer and a school board employee. His parents were loving but demanding, the type who took their children on vacation to Mount Rushmore to demonstrate that education does not end in the classroom. Smith told Essence, "Dad was tough but not tyrannical. He kept me in check. One more step, Will, and things will get ugly," he'd say. He was a self-employed businessman who installed refrigeration in supermarkets and was always there for us. "He's a consistent and upbeat presence in my life. Mom was a school secretary, now she's a supervisor, and her passion was education. My parents sent me to a Catholic school because it was the best in the neighborhood, but I had the impression that some of the priests and nuns were racist." Smith attended Overbrook High School, a public high school in Philadelphia, as a teen. His teachers there dubbed him the Prince because he was so endearing. Math was his strongest subject, and he received high enough grades to be admitted to the prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, engineering program. But, by that time, fate had decided on a different path for the Prince. Smith met Jeffrey Towns at a friend's party when he was only 12 years old. Towns was better known as DJ Jazzy Jeff, and despite being only a few years Smith's senior, he had been spinning records at parties for a long time. Smith was just starting out as a rap artist, dubbed the Fresh Prince, when he met Jazzy Jeff. For several years, they performed in separate rap groups, only occasionally collaborating. Their collaboration became more serious in 1986. Jazzy Jeff told People, "I worked with 2,000 crews before I found this maniac. When I worked with him, there was a click that wasn't there before." The two pals took on the personas of DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Jazzy because Jeff had already released an album, the new duo had little difficulty finding a record label. They released their first album, Rock the House, in 1986. Their first single, Girls Ain't Nothin' But Trouble, charted well. Already well known in the Philadelphia area, they found themselves in high demand throughout the country. Smith was able to persuade his parents that college could be postponed as the money began to come in. In fact, he made $1 million before the age of 20. The album Rock the House was released in 1987 and sold 600,000 copies. Smith rose to prominence the following year with the double LP He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, which became one of the first rap albums to go platinum, selling over 1 million copies. Both albums, particularly the second, featured raps about what the musicians were most familiar with, the day-to-day problems of modern teenagers. For example, the hit single Parents Just Don't Understand detailed the nightmares of shopping for school clothes with a mother who is hopelessly out of touch with current fashion. The Fresh Prince begs his mother to put back the bell-bottom, 1970s TV show, Brady Bunch trousers. This universal young adult complaint helped DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince find a crossover audience. Parents Just Don't Understand was the first rap song to receive a Grammy Award. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were given more opportunities to perform their work because their subject matter was not particularly controversial. Because promoters saw a lower risk of violence at their shows, they were booked into major concert venues. Even network television executives were willing to put them on the air. The clean rap image proved to be a mixed blessing, as some other rap artists chastised them for ignoring legitimate black youth problems. Smith's response to critics was that he was simply reacting to his own personal environment, which did not include the stresses of a dysfunctional family, drug abuse, or violent crime. In the beginning, my raps had a small amount of profanity to follow the fashion of the day, he told Essence. When my grandmother read them to me, she said, "He who is truly articulate shuns profanity." I had no idea what articulate meant, but I knew I wanted my grandmother's approval just as much as I wanted my parents' approval. By 1990, the Fresh Prince had released 3 top-selling rap albums and was one of the country's most well-known rappers. He was also bankrupt. Smith told TV Guide, "I bought everything." He had a mansion near Philadelphia, closets full of designer clothes, a fleet of expensive cars, and a jet-set lifestyle complete with warm-weather friends. Smith realized how foolish he had been when his money ran out and his friends deserted him. His popularity as a rapper was already dwindling. Instead of panicking, he simply looked around for a new opportunity. Smith's stage presence and ability to charm an audience had already caught the attention of some Hollywood executives. Beginning in 1990, he was invited to audition for small roles on The Cosby Show and A Different World, but he was too scared to keep the appointments, according to Jet. Finally, he met Benny Medina, the executive vice president of Warner Brothers Records' black music division. Medina had moved from Watts to a wealthy Los Angeles neighborhood as a teen, and he thought his experiences would make a good situation comedy. Medina and Smith discussed the concept before approaching producer Quincy Jones about a pilot episode. Jones knew right away that a show like that starring Will Smith would be a smash hit. In the fall of 1990, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air premiered on the National Broadcasting Company, NBC. Smith played Will, a Philadelphia teen sent to live with his wealthy, refined, and staunchly Republican aunt and uncle in Los Angeles' upscale Bel-Air neighborhood. According to Gordon Dillow of TV Guide, the show quickly found an audience, almost single-handedly keeping the network competitive on Monday nights. The show was a big challenge for Smith, who had never done any acting before. In TV Guide, he admitted, "I was a nervous wreck. I was putting in a lot of effort. I'd memorize the entire script and then lip-sync everyone's lines while they were speaking. It's disgusting to watch those early episodes. My performances were dreadful." Although Smith was dissatisfied with his work, almost everyone else was. Young adults voted The Fresh Prince the hippest teen on TV in a TV Guide poll. Furthermore, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air quickly became the most popular black situation comedy among white viewers, consistently ranking in the Nielsen Top 20 for the first 2 seasons. Smith is such a naturally engaging comic talent that he and the show's capable supporting cast usually avoid the treacle trap, Mike Duffy of the Detroit Free Press wrote. Smith never lets too many cutes sabotage the chuckles. Smith, an astute businessman who seeks creative challenges, began looking for ways to broaden his horizons in Hollywood. He sought film work and has since appeared in a number of films. 6 Degrees of Separation, a serious drama in which Smith played a gay con artist attempting to deceive a couple of white social climbers, was released in 1993, and it was Smith's most notable dramatic performance. "I wanted to work with filmmakers, Spike Lee and John Singleton, and I needed to do a film like 6 Degrees in order for those people to consider me," Smith told Premiere. "Spike Lee would never consider me for a role because he's only ever seen The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. How would he know I was capable of doing what he expects of an actor?" Smith went on to say that if he chooses his future film roles wisely, he will have a long career in show business. "I think I can do film forever," he said. "You can always do film as long as you're good," he added. Following the success of 6 Degrees of Separation, Smith was offered roles in films such as Where the Day Takes You and Made in America. His first role as an action hero, on the other hand, made Hollywood sit up and take notice. Smith appeared in the comedy thriller Bad Boys alongside Martin Lawrence. The film was a box office success, and it laid the groundwork for his next film, Independence Day. Smith left The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air after 6 seasons in 1996 to focus on his budding film career, despite the show's continued success. The show was translated into more than a dozen languages, and Smith called it the biggest thing I ever did to teen people in 2004. His decision paid off with his next film, Independence Day. Independence Day was a high-octane science fiction film starring an all-star cast. Smith was one of 3 main characters, along with Bill Pullman and Jeff Goldblum. ID4, as it was dubbed, made more than $100 million in its first week. Smith rose to prominence as an action movie star. He had the sex appeal, the arrogance, and the buffed physique. Men wanted to see if he could actually fight as a result of his success. He explained to Jet that as the Fresh Prince, he was not a threat. Nobody wanted to fight me until I buffed up for Independence Day and came on a little cocky, and suddenly everyone wants to knock me down. Men in Black was Smith's next film. Despite the fact that it was another sci-fi film, when executive producer Steven Spielberg asked him to play Agent J, he told Ebony, "You just can't say no to Steven Spielberg." He collaborated with Academy Award winner Tommy Lee Jones to create box office history. Men in Black was the best-selling movie of 1997. It made more than $200 million. Smith married Sherry Zampino in 1992, describing himself as a one-woman man. Willard Smith III, their first child, was born the following year. In essence, Smith said of his wife, "She's wonderful. She allowed me to finally put down the bags of emotional stress I'd been lugging around like a fool. I realized she was on a higher plane than me, physically, emotionally, and intellectually." Smith's life appeared to be ideal. He was a rapper, a TV star, a husband, a father, and a rising movie star, but his marriage was in trouble. His wife quickly requested a divorce. It was finalized in 1995, and they now have joint custody of their son. Despite his grief, Smith continued with his television, rap, and film careers. Though Smith met Jada Pinkett Smith when she auditioned for a role on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they did not become romantically involved until years later. Both thought the other was their soulmate. "Jada is the first person I've been with who is willing to accept that it's not always going to be great, but that's okay," Smith told Ebony. They married on December 31, 1997, and have 2 children, Jaden Christopher Sire, a son, and Willow Camille Rain, a daughter. Despite stating that he has no desire to make another album, Smith performed the title track for the Men in Black soundtrack. It was a welcome return for rap fans who had missed his style. Fans who only knew Smith from television and film were taken aback, as was the music industry. His previous album had failed miserably. The song earned him his 3rd Grammy and an NAACP Image Award. Smith released a solo album under his own name, Big Willie Style, in 1997. His first single, Gettin' Jiggy With It, reached the top 10. He told Essence that he released another rap album because I loved Biggie, slain rapper Notorious B.I.G., but my son doesn't have any alternatives. Big Willie Style was a multi-platinum selling album. Millennium, his second rap album, was released in 1999, around the same time that his film Wild Wild West was released in theaters. Millennium was yet another multi-platinum hit. The album's single Will 2K reached the top 10, and the video for the song was nominated for a Grammy Award. Smith released Born to Reign in 2002, continuing his outpouring of clean rap. His wife and son sang on the album, as well as a song about his young daughter. He released another album, Lost and Found, in 2005. In the year 2000, Smith added 2 films to his resume, Men in Black Alien Attack and The Legend of Bagger Vance, both directed by Robert Redford. Smith kept busy in 2001 as the star of the feature film Ali, which told the story of heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali. His performance earned him his first nomination for a Grammy as an actor. Men in Black sequels in 2002 and Bad Boys in 2003 were box office smashes. Following these blockbusters, Smith starred in Isaac Asimov's classic sci-fi adventure I, Robot. Smith plays a skeptical police officer in the 2004 film I, Robot, who is basically Shaft, a black cop who wears lots of leather, earrings, a Mike Tyson gait, an ancient grudge, and a face that says, "I can't stand people's unquestioning faith in robots," as James Christopher of the London Times put it in his review. Smith took a break from acting in 2005 to star in the romantic comedy Hitch. Smith portrayed a dating consultant who assisted men in wooing the women of their dreams in the film. Smith was deemed the ideal fit for the role by Film Journal International. And Smith revealed to people that in my real life, I am Hitch. The film was a worldwide success. Smith told TV Guide that his confidence in himself helped him rise from local notoriety to national celebrity while still a teenager. "What distinguishes me from the other guys at home is my confidence. I'm the one who always takes the risks." In 17, he stated, "You must have faith in something greater than yourself. You must have faith in the power and believe it has your best interests at heart. That's how my parents raised me, and that's the bottom line." Will Smith has proven that he has the business sense, charm, and talent to capitalize on every opportunity that comes his way.